Hello and welcome. Design isn't just about placing elements on a page. It's about making intentional decisions that shape how a message is experienced. Designers shape this experience intentionally. Through visual choices and layout decisions, they guide what is noticed first, what comes next, and how the viewer moves through the page. Good design leads the eye from one element to the next in a deliberate sequence, ensuring that information unfolds clearly rather than being left to chance. The viewing experience typically unfolds in three stages. 1. Focal points. Something captures attention first and becomes the entry point to the design. 2. Visual hierarchy. The overall system of organizing importance in a design. It controls the order in which elements are seen, first, second, third, and so on. 3. Scanning patterns. After attention is captured, the eye moves across the layout, often following recognizable patterns like the F or Z pattern. Let's take a closer look at each of these. Creating focal points. A focal point is the visual anchor of a composition. It is the element that commands attention first and establishes entry into the layout. Without a clear focal point, the viewer hesitates. With one, the design feels intentional and controlled. Once this first point of focus is established, the viewer's eye can naturally move to the supporting information that follows. Now that we know what a focal point is and why it draws attention, let's look at the techniques designers use to create one. Size and scale. One of the most effective ways to create a focal point is through size. Larger elements naturally attract attention because they dominate the visual field. When an image, headline, or graphic is significantly larger than the surrounding elements, the eye is immediately drawn to it. Designers often use scale to highlight the most important message on a page, allowing viewers to instantly recognize what matters most. Color. Color helps elements stand out from their surroundings. When something looks noticeably different from the elements around it, whether through brightness, darkness, color, or tone, it naturally attracts attention. Color can play a major role in creating this contrast. For example, a bright or saturated color placed against a neutral background will immediately draw the eye and become a strong focal point. Isolation. Another powerful technique is isolation, achieved through the use of empty or negative space. When an element is surrounded by open space and not crowded by other elements, it stands out more clearly. The lack of nearby visual competition makes the element easier to notice, allowing it to function as a strong focal point. Placement. Where an element appears on the page strongly influences whether it will be noticed. Certain areas of a layout naturally receive more attention, such as the top portion, center, or entry points of a design. By strategically positioning an element in these areas, designers can increase the likelihood that it will become the viewer's first point of focus. Detail and complexity. The eye is naturally drawn to areas that contain more visual detail or complexity. Elements with intricate shapes, textures, or patterns often attract attention because they offer more visual information to explore. Designers can use this tendency to guide attention toward elements that contain richer visual interest. Now let's take a look at a few real-world examples of creating a focal point. In a magazine layout, the focal point might be a large headline paired with a dramatic photograph. On a website, it might be a brightly colored call to action button. In poster design, it could be the central image or bold event title. A strong focal point not only grabs attention, but also sets the tone and leads the viewer into the rest of the content.
Once a focal point captures attention, the viewer's eye does not stop there. Instead, it continues moving through the layout, taking in additional information. This movement is not random. Effective design organizes content so that the viewer clearly understands what to look at next and how different elements relate to one another. This structure of visual importance is known as visual hierarchy.
Designers create hierarchy by adjusting visual characteristics such as scale, contrast, weight, placement, and spacing. These tools help establish a clear sequence, allowing viewers to quickly understand the structure of the content and navigate the design with ease. But before we dive deeper into visual hierarchy, let's take a moment to see how it differs from creating a focal point. Focal point focuses on the single element that captures attention first, explains how to create that entry point using methods like size, contrast, placement, isolation, and detail. Visual hierarchy looks at all elements on a page and their relative importance, explains how designers organize content so the viewer knows what to see first, next, and last. Emphasis is on the sequence of attention and reading flow, not just the first thing noticed. In this example, all text appears uniform with no distinction between headings, subheadings, or body content. The viewer has no clear entry point, making it difficult to determine where to focus attention. We enlarged the main heading to create a clear focal point and bolded the subheadings to establish a stronger visual hierarchy. We also added spacing between paragraphs to organize the content and create a clearer visual hierarchy within the body text. These adjustments guide the viewer's eye through the page in a deliberate sequence. Now that we know how to establish a focal point and create hierarchy, it's time to see how the eye actually moves through a layout. In Western reading cultures, scanning patterns often follow a top-left entry point, horizontal movement across, a downward progression, and diagonal scanning toward focal contrasts. Designers often guide the viewer's eye along predictable patterns, most commonly the Z-pattern scanning or F-pattern scanning. Z-pattern scanning. The Z-pattern typically appears in layouts with minimal text and strong visual elements, such as landing pages, posters, or advertisements. The viewer's eye usually follows this path, starts at the top left corner, often the logo, moves horizontally across the top toward navigation or a headline, travels diagonally downward toward a key visual or message, and finishes with a horizontal movement along the bottom, often where a call to action appears. Designers place important elements along this path, such as logos, headlines, images, and buttons, guiding the viewer smoothly through the layout. F-pattern scanning. The F-pattern is common in text-heavy layouts, especially on websites and articles. The viewer typically scans horizontally across the top line, usually where the headline is, moves slightly down and scans a shorter horizontal line, a subheading or an intro, then sweeps vertically down the left side, line starters, bullet points, then makes short horizontal glances into the body text as you move down. This creates a pattern resembling the letter F. This wraps up our discussion on creating focal points, establishing visual hierarchy, and understanding eye scanning patterns. I hope this helps you design with more clarity and intention. Thank you for watching.